I mean, why make him out? I mean, I guess he was more so a mini boss than anything, but
We're back here?
The creator of this world, Salmayal, has been defeated.
we know this, Lavenza. We were the ones that beat him.
Eventually, this place should go back to its proper state.
What does eventually mean, Lavenza?
Once that happens, you should all be able to return to your reality as well.
What about you? Could you just return this whole time?
Until then, please spend your time wisely, so as not to leave any regrets.
Oh, well, okay then.
Regrets? I see. Well then, we should probably get our goodbyes out of the way, shouldn't we?
Guys, hold up. You're not coming with us, Serena?
You don't mean you're going to disappear too?
Of course she is. But she's also a persona, and based off of a real person, so she's not really.
No, I'm not disappearing. I'm just going back to where I came from.
Bro, this is feeding off of Kingdom Hearts so hard right now. Like, if you ever played any of the Kingdom Hearts games, by any means, you already know this is feeding off of the type of story so hard.
Toshiro's heart from Salmael's rule, remember?
Yeah, you keep ripping off Kingdom.
Now that his influence is gone, it's time for me to go back into Toshiro's heart. So, you can't cry. Alright, Toshiro?
Yeah, it's almost like you could just, resummon her as a persona, even if she does.
Needless concern, I should say. You were once a part of me, so you'll just be going back to where you belong.
No crying, Toshiro.
Cries over saying goodbye to himself.
For real.
You really aren't honest with yourself, are you?
Nope.
Hey, the fight only just ended. It's too early to be saying goodbye.
Why is everybody crying? Come on, man.
There was still so much I wanted to talk about with you.
This is like when you defeat the nobodies, and then they're like, I'm just going back to where I belong. And it's like, oh, well, okay, then that was basically pointless, but sure.
This should be the beginning, not the end. Thank you, Futaba. Brief as it was, I'll never forget the time we spent together. Not ever.
Okay.
I won't tell you goodbye. I'll just say I was proud to bear witness.
Very much so, Yusuke way of putting that, but sure.
I'll always be connected through Toshiro, okay?
That's assuming that we remember any of this as we go back to the real world, Makoto, but sure.
Yusuke, Makoto, I was saved by your wisdom on many an occasion.
If that's what you want to call it.
I won't say goodbye either. We'll meet again, okay?
Right.
She's not disappearing. I know it in my head, but it still makes me sad.
She's not disappearing, Heart. She's not going anywhere.
Definitely looks coolest if you can make it short and sweet.
Exactly right.
But it looks like that ain't for me.
Alright, well,
I feel the same way.
no crying, Arena.
Haru, Ryuji, I learned a great deal from your candor.
You learned from Ryuji? Oh no, you poor soul.
If Toshiro ever loses his nerve again, I'd like you two to snap him back to his senses.
Oh, I think we can make that happen. They got so happy upon hearing that.
Are you going already?
Oh, please, Morgana.
It's time.
I see. And here I was planning to take you in as my apprentice. It's a shame, you know?
No, she's being spared that fate.
I guess I missed out big time, didn't I?
Oh, you've actually been saved from having to deal with Morgana.
Will you teach me if we meet again? What it takes to be a phantom thief, that is.
Sure, but I suppose I'll do it because we definitely can't let Morgana do it. We'll always be waiting for you. It'll be lonely without you, just straight up dots.
Hey, don't clam up now. You're gonna make me feel sad too.
Well, okay.
Even at the very end, I still can't seem to get a read on your expressions.
Well, the whole silent protagonist cliche. No, okay.
Morgana, Joker,
Yes.
I'm truly glad I met you both. And this very spot, in fact.
It is where we did meet you, sure.
Karina!
Sorry, guys. I think my time's up.
Okay. Well, it's time to fade away. Come on, speed it up. We're on a schedule here. Futaba, you good?
Thank you, everyone.
They really did Arena dirty in this game. I mean, at least from gameplay wise, they should have buffed her in some way to make up for her stats and general lack of combat. I mean, I guess they wanted you to do more gun combat with her, and yet even then, there were just people that did everything she did and better. So it really made it hard to justify actually using her, which is why you didn't really see me use her all that much once we got access to the rest of the thieves.
Irina, I won't doubt myself anymore.
Why you gotta keep
No
lying
matter
to
how many
yourself like
times I
that,
get knocked
Toshio?
down, no matter how many times I falter, I'll follow the path I believe in.
So you say. So you say.
Watch over me.
You say that like she has any option. Is it time to go back home now? Lavenza, you coming with us? Oh, you probably could have left whenever you wanted. Are we gonna see the nose at the very end of the game? And be like, where you guys been?
Is this LeBlanc?
But is the real one?
There's no mistaking it. This is LeBlanc. Which means
What is the real one?
everything looks normal outside, too. Yep, I think we're
Are you
back.
saying you already went out then? Okay.
Hell yeah. Oh man, we really did it.
That we did.
Hold the phone. Where's Toshiro?
You tell me.
He came to that world in a different way than we did.
Yeah, that is true.
So it stands to reason he just landed in a different location.
I guess.
But how can we confirm that? Like, can we call the diet?
I mean, I suppose you can. Whether or not they'll actually take it all is a different thing.
Yeah, I think we'd sound really sus if we did that.
She said the word. I don't know. I guess it would be pretty sus if Futaba said it. There could be a news report. Let's wait for it now.
True. Remember how much of a fuss the press made when he went missing? It seems likely we'll hear if he's back.
True.
Please be safe, Toshiro.
Oh, he'll be fine, Morgana. Come on now. Oh, there he is.
Toshiro!
Oh, is this the father?
Toshiro, where
And
are
that
those
should be the
been?
fiance.
I'm sorry if I've caused you any concern.
Oh, I'm sure. I bet you were just running away from the pressure, as usual.
Real.
Won't you just do as you're told? Or is that still expecting too much of you?
No, nope, absolutely not. I come back after all that, and you're gonna be like this? Nope, straight to the streets with you, like for real.
Now, Marie-san.
Oh man, that face is so creepy.
Incompetent though he may be, he's still my dear son. Please go easy on him. Whatever the circumstances, he did come back. I'll have him make a formal apology later, and all will be well.
Father?
You fool!
Oh, there's that face.
Disappearing at a time like this. Do you realize how much this will affect your credibility? We'll be holding an explanatory press conference immediately. I have the script for you here.
Ain't no way I come back from all that and you guys be acting like this. Absolutely not. You're getting dropped as a father. You're getting dropped as a fiance. You're getting sent back to the streets. Like, everybody out. Ties, connections cut. All of them get out. Like,
Say you were covertly admitted to the hospital. Your condition was critical, but you made a miraculous recovery.
all right, of course.
Now, health issues will lose you approval points, so be sure to make a point of impressing that you're back to full health.
Sad you have to think about those facts when running, huh?
No need to look so serious. Everyone still has high hopes for you. I've already laid out all the groundwork, so as long as you follow my instructions...
That face is so creepy. It's
any problem.
something about the artwork.
That's how it's been.
Although I'm sure it's
And that's
made out to be that way on
how it'll
purpose.
Yes.
Now then, Marie's son, shall we be going? We have our own preparations to make for the press conference. I would like you to play the part of the devoted fiancé who supported Toshiro through his many obligations.
Ugh, I realize I have to do this if I want to become First Lady. But it's such a hassle.
Glad to see that nothing's
Do you think
changed
I
here.
should change? Perhaps I could wear something that panders a bit more to all those commoners.
Wow, it's just, oh man, what a wonderful lady.
This is where the next chapter begins.
There you go, Toshiro.
Right, Irina?
I'm home! Woo, boy, is it toasty out today.
As always, toasty out.
With weather this nice, it feels like spring's already in full swing, doesn't it?
Since everyone's here again today, maybe we should ask for some coffee.
No more coffee. We've had enough
This is
coffee.
very disappointing. I had such high hopes for Mr. Kasukabe.
Indeed. As extreme turmoil continues to cast a pall over the political world, its future falls increasingly in question. Meanwhile, investigations of Mr. Kasukabe's father, Mr. Yoshiki, and his ex-fiancée will continue as...
Politics seem to be the talk of the town as usual, huh?
No way is this invested in politics. Come on.
It's not surprising. Another major scandal on the coattails of the one last year.
Okay, so this game takes place a year after the Shido incident, based on that.
Gotta give Toshiro credit, though. Got right to the chase at that press conference.
It was supposed to be an explanation for his disappearance, instead turned into a confessional. I am not qualified to be Prime Minister. I indict my father for his crimes.
Yeah, we're talking criminal indictments against an elder statesman by his own flesh and blood. And then he announces he's breaking off his engagement too. Talk about a lot to
Good.
process, Toshiro.
Absolutely. You saved yourself so much of a headache. It just why never do that to yourself.
Ultimately, his resignation means any hope of him becoming Prime Minister went down with him.
Of course, and you know what? He made that choice, and I think he's okay with it.
Everyone was totally shocked. A press conference like that brings back memories of last year.
I know, very coincidental, isn't it?
The way things are going, I don't see the dust settling for a while. But at least Toshiro kept his promise. That means his resolve was real.
He did what he said he would. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Sure,
he
but
did.
it's not only that. What he did took a lot of courage, too.
Sure.
He's definitely got guts. His actual gut, though, not sure it's up for what could come next.
Man, what was he thinking saying all that? Way to make us worry. Isn't there any way we can contact him? Like, asking Makoto Sis or something?
I mean, that's probably not the
No.
worst.
Public security has their eye on us. Trying to make contact with him would very likely have the opposite effect.
What do you mean they still have their eyes on us?
I know it's frustrating, but waiting is our only option right now.
phone. Why don't you answer it for him?
Nah, I think I'm good, actually.
Hello? Is this Cafe LeBlanc? My name is Representative... my name is Kasukame.
Well, isn't that convenient?
Did he say Kasukame?
Sure, are you alright? Your order, please. Rolling until the end?
Huh? Oh, one coffee. Heavy on the sugar.
Hey man, you gotta watch out for them sugar nonsense. They add so quick, I'm just saying.
Did he really just order? Hey, it's Toshiro, isn't it?
Could that be Morgana?
I was like, well, you shouldn't be able to understand Morgana, but I guess he still has a persona, but then we shouldn't have our personas, right? Because that world should have gone, and then the metaverse before that one should have not existed by this point, in which case this one also should have gone, in which case we should have lost our personas. I don't know at this point.
Wouldn't you be in cat form right now? Should I speak in feline? Meow.
Got him.
Are you making fun of me? This is just a temporary guise I used to keep out of the public eye. So, what's up? You had everyone here worried.
Forgive me. I refrained from contacting you to avoid any potential trouble it might have put you in.
Fair enough.
I'm sure you know from the news by now, but things have been pretty hectic on my end.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
As for my father and Marie, they'll likely be arrested with their co-conspirators very soon.
Beautiful. What a truly fantastic ending.
Wanted to make sure you all were aware of that.
Thanks.
I see. You did well, Toshiro.
Anyways, I've been tied up in hearings every day, and it looks like I'll only be getting even busier moving forward.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
I also still have to figure out what I'm going to do now that I'm not a representative anymore.
Any ideas so far? Hey, you want to work here?
Hey now. You're not the only one that makes those decisions, you know.
I appreciate the offer, but I wouldn't want to impose.
All right. Well, you know, I tried though.
I'm thinking of starting over. I want to become a politician I can be proud to be.
Well, okay then.
Of course, I still don't know what kind of sentence I'll get. So, maybe expecting a fresh start isn't very realistic. But even so, I think I still want to take on the challenge.
Sure, if you want to make your life harder than it needs to be, then by all means.
I want to be the kind of politician people can trust to take a stand and fight by their side.
I mean, you know, admirable, but mistaken, as some would say. Good luck, just try not to run away.
She'd never let me hear the end of it if I did. The sharp-tongued revolutionary watching over me from afar, that is.
Yeah, that one.
Very true. Now, don't you two start squabbling again, all right?
Well, it's been great hearing your voices again. I must say goodbye for now.
Yeah, go get blabbered at again.
I probably won't be able to come by the cafe anytime soon, but I'll be sure to visit one day.
Copium.
All right then. Tell everyone I say hi, will you?
Well, you're on speaker this entire... You know you were on speaker this entire time. You heard Morgana and me, presumably.
Thank you, Phantom Thieves. Stay well.
Oh, wow! So Toshiro-san's going to try and become a politician again.
That's what he tells me.
There's no doubt it'll be a bumpy road. It's been under a lot of fire online from what I've seen.
That's just the internet. That's just a constant state of affairs. That's nothing new.
Yeah, the internet's already bent on canceling Toshiro and his dad.
The internet's bent on canceling everyone and anything. All right, like this is not anything special. Come on, man.
No surprise there, though. Honestly, it'd be strange if they didn't go after them.
Exactly.
No matter how admirable your ideals may be, at the end of the day, it's the constituents that get to decide.
Yeah, that is the thing.
He'll have to restart his whole race from scratch. Actually, more than that. He'll be behind the starting line.
As he mentioned already.
He had to know what he was getting himself into, right?
Clearly.
Did. Toshiro said he was going to fight, and this only shows just how serious he was.
Doing what you think is right doesn't always produce positive results.
Yeah, I mean, it just comes with the territory. It is what it
Decision to
is.
stay the course. Showed no regrets about what that meant.
Good for him, as he should.
Regardless of how things began, he still learned a great deal from how he carried himself.
Yes, we certainly did. Someday, I hope everyone will understand what they stood for.
Yeah, we'll figure it out sooner rather than later.
All right then. We did a lot of talking the talk too, so now we've got to back it up with action.
Okay.
That's true. We wouldn't want Toshiro and Arena to laugh at us.
Yeah, because we care so much about their opinion.
Fighting for our respective goals. Does that sound about right?
Sure.
Fight we must. First, I will battle this empty stomach, the result of an equally empty wallet.
But, you know, all of us got different struggles. That just happens to be use case.
Crap. I'm looking at extra classes if I don't put up a good fight against that quiz tomorrow.
Classic Ryuji moment.
Big ambitions, I see.
As for you, On, don't forget to fight that appetite of yours, or you'll be kicking yourself for it again.
Woo!
Shut it! You know what? I'm fighting you instead. I'm confiscating that candy as punishment.
That looks like potato chips more than anything, but candy? Yeah, sure, okay, right.
Hey, stop! You'll spill them!
I mean, I see candy on the table there, but this man's like clearly eating like chips or something, but okay.
My goodness. Settle down, you two.
Oh, really, Makoto?
A curry for me, please?
You just can't make your own curry.
Me too.
Oh, really now, Haru? You're just gonna go ahead and pack that on?
You two really trying to score free grub in the middle of all this?
Of course they are. See, it even says potato chips on one.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Doesn't matter how many times we have to fight for our lives. Some things never change, huh?
I mentioned it plenty of times before, Morgana. You right.
Maybe our same old selves, but we did manage to save someone's life.
Yeah, if you want to call it that.
There's no doubt the will we showed in battle got through to Toshiro and the others.
Yeah.
Every person who takes a stand gives someone else a push of encouragement.
I mean, so long as it's recognized, sure.
Maybe that's how this flame of revolution gets passed on.
I'd like to pass the baton soon. Still want to hit. I'd like to pass the baton soon.
I agree. Getting whisked here and there at this rate is gonna run us ragged. At least a half year or so to kick back would be nice.
Yeah, you know, now that you mention.
Now then, we don't have much time left to spend like this. Why don't you make some coffee for everyone? Something that'll really knock their socks off.
Oh, really, Morgana? Oh, really? You want to give me more work after everything I just did? Oh, my. Oh, it's just like real life. Everything gets passed on to me even after work. Life's pain. Okay, the screen is actually blank right now. This isn't like my camera just cut out. Or like the screen capture, whatever you want to call it. Okay, here we go. This is credit scene. Alright, I guess it won't allow me to skip it, probably because it's the first time through. Alright, well, as per usual, whenever we finish a game. So what did I think about the game? I do like the different change of pace. I still like the fact that it's turn-based, that it's just generally a game genre that we play on the channel and that I enjoy. So, there's that. Overall, I mean, Rina and Toshiro I gotta say, were honestly pretty lackluster. I mean, even with all their upgrades and whatnot, I mean, Toshiro was only basically thrown in right at the end, more as a plot device than anything, but it is what it is. We also never really expected him to be good based on what we had seen throughout the entire game so far, so I wasn't expecting him to be fantastic. I was really hoping they were gonna like buff Arena sometime throughout the game, like whether it was actually give her her own persona or some way of getting her stats to match the level of the Phantom Thieves. Like, I imagine on the hardest difficulty, she may not even be usable. Or, like, if you use her, you're gonna be in for a bad time, or just hinder yourself in that regard. Because in some personas, you have the extra protection, whether it's getting stuff like immunity that protect you from status effects, which I imagine are far more common in the higher difficulties, as well as also having access to stuff like Maggie Dolan and whatnot, which are just arguably broken, as they should be. I mean, it is one of the last quote-unquote ultimate skills you get, so it's to be expected. But also, Arena doesn't have that option. All she has is her Partesian skills, which are lackluster, I would say is a relatively fair comment. I would say the best skill she actually gets is Ambush Plus, and that's just so everybody else gets better as a result. Though she was always made to be a bit more of a sport than anything, based on the way her skills were, between all the follow-ups, the ambushes, and whatnot, which there is use for that, but also it seemed like a majority of the fan thieves did a majority of what she did, but then also had personas plus sub-persona bonus stats, plus their immunities and whatnot that she wouldn't have access to. So, like, I really can never find a real reason to justify using her over our original set. And also, our original set was really good. I mean, Joker just has a lot of utility in and of himself, and just has massive firepower. No puns intended there, except absolutely intended. And then there's Makoto, which was really more for utility. You could arguably switch out Makoto for Haru, although I'd say Makoto just starts in a generally better position. She just naturally has more movement to start with, which is very helpful. And the pull to be able to get rid of people's resistances and also set up once mores and whatnot as a result is just really good. She also has access to healing, which Haru does not have as far as I remember. In which case you get a healer out of it as well, in which case she's just better than Haru. Raiji probably would have been good for boss fights. That's probably the only real situation I would have seen myself use them in. But we already had our base set of people, and I was completely fine with using them as is. But I could definitely see Ryuji being a boss killer for the fact that all of his stuff is just heavy damage, and you can go really deep into boosting his damage at that. And then, of course, he's got access to the sub-personas to give him even more stats. So I imagine he's one of the better boss killers. And just single target DPS in general. Though he lacks an AoE capability, healing, so on and so forth. More supportive things. Well, what do you expect from one that's meant to be more DPS, right? I don't know, it just felt like Joker and Makoto had the best utility, but then they were also specialized in their own ways. Joker being more of an all-arounder, being able to do whatever I needed him to in that time, and just putting out plenty of DPS, and Makoto setting up, healing, and throwing out some melee attacks here and there when we needed it for, like, launcher type enemies that had like 600-700 health off the edge of the map, and insta-killing them is very helpful, along with being able to move people out of the way. But yeah, overall gameplay wise it was alright. Story wise it was pretty text heavy, I gotta say. Like not that there wasn't a lot of missions. I mean, we had what, 50 actual fights, and then through quest it was probably another 20 or so. So maybe we had about 100 battles in the entire game. So it's not like there wasn't a lot. It's just a lot of them we were able to fill out really quickly. Now maybe that's just because of difficulty. Maybe at the higher ones it's like more enemies, surely stronger enemies. And I imagine more stronger enemies spawning as a result, but I really hope it's just like HP and stuff like that, because if it was actually them getting better skills and whatnot, then I would have rather played at a higher difficulty, because there's games where just increasing the difficulty will just like increase enemies' HP and stuff like that, but not add any new mechanics or anything to them. In which case, it's kind of like, what's the point? Because, you know, you would hope in the higher difficulties, there's a little bit more to set them apart than, oh, I just added another 100 HP onto the basic enemies or whatever, have fun. It's like, really? That's the part that made it more difficult? Yeah, okay, sure. Whereas if you actually added new mechanics and whatnot, then I'm a lot more interested to play at the higher difficulties. But if it's just adding on more HP and like dragging out fights longer than they need to be, then it's very much so whatever. Oh, Shiro is in front of the place. Who the heck is that? Good question. You know, the Diet member father and son from the corruption scandal. But isn't he the one who exposed his dad's corruption? I don't care. Politicians are all the same. Oh, well. He's been in public like every day recently. Yeah, I've seen him around too. What a joke. He just wants our votes. I'll admit he's got guts. Now that you mentioned it, the press conference, calling Lamau, we saw Lamau in there. You already know it's real. I'm willing to believe he's someone who actually wants to help. I mean, you know, good luck. It seems like it would have made more sense if the actual politician from Persona 5 was the one rather than Toshiro, for sure. Glad to see Arena is stalking Toshiro over there. Oh, she still got her cane. Even though I'm still not really sure how you know, survive getting blasted by a train at full speed, but sure. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's anime. Oh, okay. Oh, it's a video game too. Oh, alright. Now it makes more sense. Rita, you've returned to us.
Looks like I finally caught up.
I've been waiting.
Yes, Lavenza? Oh, just Finn. It still feels really weird that the nose was not involved in this game at all. It just... I mean, I guess we have Lavenza for a stand-in, but still, it doesn't quite feel right without seeing the nose in the game. Am I crazy for saying that? If you load your clear save, you'll start from the beginning of the game utilizing data from your cleared save. Now, if you overwrite your original data, you will not be able to resume for where you previously left off. Yes, go ahead and make the save data. And that's clear. Alright, so general thoughts on my game? Or on the game here? I would say overall, through gameplay and story-wise, I feel like a 6 is too harsh. Maybe a 7, but 7 feels like an scapegoat number or like review ranking, so 6 feels too harsh though. The overall gameplay I liked much better than the story. The story was very much so, I wouldn't say like boring's not the right word. I just wasn't as interested as I could have been. Like, surely it's not like a mainstream Persona game, so you don't get to get as deep into the story and whatnot. Arena and Toshiro as characters themselves were pretty straightforward in what they were. It didn't really, like, they tried to make the whole thing of it being a character development for Toshiro and a little bit towards Arena at the end, but really it was really just...
Let's go.
easy to tell that was going to be the way that they went with it. So then it was like, all right, gameplay wise, a lot of enemies were reused and just recolored and whatnot. A lot of the boss fights were interesting, at least for the first time going into them. Although Samael fight was okay. It was at least different. The shadow fight, a lot of the fights I felt like, honestly, were just me waiting on the bosses to mess up. I mean, Marie's, you have to wait for her bouquets before you can really do any real damage. Yoshiki, you just gotta play around the cameras. Shadow Toshiro, you're just waiting on him to spawn the orbs in order for you to actually do any real damage. So it's like, at that point, just doing that just so that way, in case that song's like copyrighted or something, and I have to mute the entire part of that video because of that. But yeah, no. Oh man, 7 feels like such a scapegoat number. It's, oh man. I guess if I couldn't use 7, I guess I would go 6 before I went 8. It's not a bad game. I did like the strategies and whatnot that were involved with it. I just would have hoped a little bit more out of the combat. The story, I mean, it's not a main Persona game, so I was expecting it to be so deep in that regard. It was just, I don't know. Some of the writing could have been better and whatnot. If you like Persona and you like the general gameplay that you saw on the plate, you may as well pick up the game. It's probably like 20 or 30 bucks at this point. Could probably find it cheaper on something like eBay or something like that from other people, GameStop, so on and so forth. So overall, I would say if you could get it for like 20, I probably wouldn't go any higher than 30 bucks, honestly, for the game. But if you get it for like 20 or 30 bucks and you already like Persona and whatnot, I'd probably say go for it. And you like the general gameplay that you saw. But yeah, if this game, like if I went back in time and I bought this game at like 60 bucks or whatever, I would have been slightly upset is probably too strong. I would have been disappointed. That's the right word to use right there. Disappointed is probably still too harsh though. I would have hoped for better. I mean, we still played the game throughout until the end, right? I mean, it's not like it was that bad of a game where I was like, oh, I played it, and then I was like, I would never play it again. So, like, you know, there is that. But enough of our rambling. Appreciate you guys for watching the series. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And we will be starting a new game. I'm not sure what it will end up being at the moment. But we will figure that out on the next video. Appreciate you guys for watching, and we will see you guys then. See ya.